Why do I select Saturdays? Well, because Saturdays were the most difficult days to stay sober. Think about it. You wake up, you don't have anything to do, so you get bored. And because you get bored, you're like, screw it. And you start drinking. You start using drugs. You start getting high somehow. Then, later on, if you're anything like me, inside of your high time, you get all these great ideas. And because you're high, you forget all your great ideas. This system, this back and forth, this whole idea, well, it's because you suck. The reason that you suck is because you're actually great at generating ideas, piss poor at executing your ideas. Now, how do I know this? Well, because I'm exactly that. I'd have a bunch of great ideas when I was high and drunk. I'd write them down because I was a little smarter. And then I'd come back afterwards and I wouldn't understand them. The access that you get to that portion of your brain when you're high, you could actually get without getting high. There's a way to go into that state, but you have to exhaust your body. You have to leverage everything that you have. And then once you leverage everything that you have, something else kicks in. They call it the higher power in other rooms, right? They call God in some other rooms. For me, it is God. Now, one of the struggles that you may face is that Saturdays you don't stay sober, Sundays you deal with hangovers, Monday you get to work, you might do a half-ass job, Tuesday you're starting to get back to yourself, Wednesday you feel completely good, you're like, yeah, I can do this, I'm making it through the week, Thursday you're like, yeah, week's almost done, Friday you start getting shit-faced again, and then Saturday comes around and you can't stay sober. All the ideas that you had the previous week are gone, and you find yourself in this loop. Well, if you're tired of being in this loop and you're tired and you want to be somebody who actually accomplishes the ideas that they have, you want to be that person who writes the book, you want to be that person who makes the videos, you want to be that person who pushes out the idea, you want to be that person who starts the business. You might want to be that person that isn't dreaded when you show up. You might want to be the man that you desire to be for your kids. You might want to just have a normal life. But because you can't stay sober on Saturdays and Fridays and Saturdays, you can't have it. What is the worst part about your drugs and alcohol use? What is the worst part about your vice? Because yours might not even be drugs and alcohol. You might be one of these guys that watches porn. Whatever your issue is, whatever your vice is it actually helping you or is it hurting you? Most vices hurt you, no matter how you justify it. But is it helping or is it hurting you? That's the question. For me, in my journey, I didn't change until the hurt was great enough. And for me, I know how to hurt myself. Like I know how to hurt myself. Nobody could hurt me worse than I could hurt me. And so to get to a place where that hurt was actually felt took a lot. There is a concept that I hope to teach. Yo, what's up, good people, and those who are not so good? Thank you for joining. Let's jump right in. The reason why you suck at staying sober on Saturdays is because you don't have anything to work towards. When you don't have anything to work towards, that's when you start to sleep in, that's when you start to slack. How do I know this? Well, because guess what? I don't have anything to work towards right now. So I've been oversleeping. Because I've been oversleeping, I can see it translating and I can start to see the trickle effect happening in other areas of my life. Because I'm sleeping in, I don't go to the gym in the morning, I go to the gym in the afternoon. Now, I can justify all this stuff. It's not that bad, right? But that justification for me is an indicator that I'm not on pursuit of something of purpose. I'm not actually trying to get something done that I have a desire to get done. And saying that sucks, right? Because we live in this world where everybody wants to be a high achiever. We live in this world where status means stuff. We live in this world where if you can grab attention, good. So why would something as small as sleeping in and justifying why it's okay be a huge red flag for me? Well, because for me, I know how quickly I can go sliding down that slope. As soon as I know that it's okay to sleep in, as soon as other things start to go right in my life, that's when I start to give in and not take seriously this great second chance that I have. Because I'm somebody who used drugs to the point where nobody wanted to be around me. My heroin use, my alcohol use caused individuals around me to not want to be around me. So I had to redevelop those relationships. Some of them I chose not to redevelop. Some of them I chose to develop. But when I forget about the second chance that I've been offered is when I know I'm really slipping. So what goal did you say you were going to get done? What promise did you say that you were going to make if you were able to get some sort of change happening in your life? I need a lot of reminders. I need constant reminders. For me, that's what my tattoos are. I get tattoos to give myself reminders of where I'm at. And we can come up with all kinds of meanings for the tattoos, but unless they're actually doing what they're supposed to be doing, unless the reminders are there to be reminders, then we're not going to change. I don't have any kids, but if you have kids, your kids should be a reminder. If you have a wife, I ain't got no wife, so if you got a wife or a girl that's rode with you the whole time, that might be your reminder right there. Don't get mad when they start to remind you, because even the greatest individuals forget what's happened in the past. And when you forget what's happened in the past, you'll take what's currently going on for granted. Over the past 12 months, I made a big mistake. And I didn't see myself making it because I was living inside of it. And because of how isolated I choose to live my life, I realized that it was a detriment. Because there was a life-changing event could have happened. And it didn't. And it didn't happen in a positive life-changing event could have happened, and it didn't, because I wasn't pursuing what I needed to pursue. And having a sober mind isn't just about not using drugs, not using alcohol, not being distracted by vices such as porn, women, food. Having a sober mind means that you're directing your mind towards an outcome that you want. All your thoughts, all your actions, all your beliefs go towards that outcome. And at least in my journey, when I stopped having an outcome, that's when I started letting everything happen to me. Right? And in the past 12 months, that's just kind of where I found myself at. I found myself drifting and drifting and drifting and drifting. So I do my annual yearly review in July. I set my plans and my goals for July to June. I looked at my calendar and I should have been able to accomplish 3 other things that I had listed in my yearly outcomes, and I didn't because I wasn't focused, because I wasn't sober. When I say I wasn't sober, I don't mean I was using drugs and alcohol the whole time. I don't do that. What I mean is that I wasn't focused on getting the outcome that I wanted to have, that I claimed I wanted to have. The reason why I didn't accomplish that outcome was because it didn't mean enough to me. The second chance that I have right now, I feel entitled to it. And that's a bad feeling. When your life comes from death to new life, when you have experienced extreme moments in time that you didn't ever think you were going to make it out of, when you live a day-to-day life that's kind of normal, it can become boring. That adrenaline rush isn't there. Because that adrenaline rush isn't there, you don't get that excitement. You don't have that motivation, you don't have that drive, and that's the problem. That's not being sober. Being sober-minded means that you're attacking and addressing exactly what you need to address in order to get what you want, what you claim done. So if you're struggling with staying sober this Saturday, think about what kind of goals have you set for yourself. If you're struggling with staying sober this weekend, think about what goals you haven't set. Think about what reminders you have not put in place, because if you want to be somebody who you can look up to, you got to be somebody you could trust. In order to be somebody you could trust, you have to have confidence in yourself. And in order to build confidence in yourself, you have to be able to do exactly what you say you're going to do. Now, to start off small, and when I say start off small, I literally mean start off small. A memory just popped into my head, and I would say I'm going to buy alcohol, but I'm not going to drink until I get X, Y, and Z done. So I'd go to the store at 7 a.m., I'd buy my liquor, and I'd go home and I'd do all the stuff that I needed to get done before I could start drinking. That's starting small. You don't have to start by completely going to abstinence. And quite frankly, if you were drinking the amount like I was drinking, that's probably more dangerous than it's not. Alcohol detox can kill you. Get medical advice is one of the things I'll share, but if you're stubborn like me and you know you can do this on your own because you created the problem on your own so you can find the solution on your own, one of the best ways to do it is by starting small, because your problem didn't start off as a big problem. I didn't just start off drinking 2 bottles every day. I started off by having a drink in the morning, having a drink in the afternoon, and then a drink at night. Then it's changed up to having multiple drinks throughout the day. If that's how the problem started, then you got to solve it the exact same way. So this Saturday, choose not to drink until 12. Choose not to drink until 3. Choose not to drink until you're done with whatever you need to get done, because you cannot waste this second chance that you have. If you need help doing that and you need accountability, because that's what I need. I know for sure I need accountability, and one of the reasons why I messed up these past 12 months is because I didn't have accountability in this one area of my life. So I got to get that checked. I have a plan on how to do that, but we all need accountability. And for me, my expertise is helping people change, because I've done it. Without going to rehab, without going to jail, I can help you stop drinking, stop using drugs, stop having to cover up the smell of whatever it is that you're trying to cover up. Shame, we'll just call it that. I can help you cover up the smell of shame by rebuilding yourself. And by rebuilding yourself, we do that through day-to-day actions. 4 actions every day. Wake up before 6 a.m. We read, we journal, we work out. Those are the 4 things that I know that if we do together, we will be more productive citizens to our community. And by being more productive citizens to our community, we actually elevate the places that we need to elevate. We can be proud of who we are, and by taking pride in who we are, we increase our self-worth, and that increase of self-worth stops us from doing stupid things. So, stay sober this Saturday. If you need help staying sober throughout the week, shoot me a message, send me a comment, whatever it is. But know that you can do it. You just need to make a decision on what it is that you want, how important it is to get it done, and what you're willing to give up to do it. Look, if you need any more help than that, shoot me a message. I'm here to serve you with only things that I know how to do, and that's get clean without going to rehab, without going to jail. Because I don't believe that you absolutely need to do that. I believe there's other options.